Okay. Let me share the minutes. Okay. Thanks for everyone who attended Hamside. I think we're going to jump in on the Grape too. Is Are any of our hosts online at the moment?
When you say hosts, what do you mean by host? A Grape host?
Our Grape 2 hosts are presumptives, yeah.
I'm a presumptive Grape 2 host.
I think Bob is, and
Because my goal next couple weeks is, as you guys receive your grapes, that the majority of the meeting time, if you need it, should be set aside for troubleshooting and setting up the grapes. So
can officially announce that all 31 grapes have been deployed. All have been shipped.
We have 2 left.
2 left? Oh, okay.
2 left.
Okay.
As of
something I have to talk with Nathaniel offline about. So
okay.
You have a high-level executive decision to make.
Oh no. I don't know about that.
Well, it's, comes with the territory. This should be an easy one, I would think. But anyway, I want you involved in it.
All right, sounds good.
Other than that little small detail, we haven't been doing much of anything else. Actually, that's not true.
Rachel?
Yep.
Yeah, one thing you scrolled past it, but the Friends of the Eclipse meetings are Mondays, not Tuesdays.
Oh. I don't go to those, so I just type or let other people type. There we go.
Right.
And that's a hangover from all the way back when whenever somebody first asked me to put these on. So either it's been wrong for a very long time or it used to be. So sorry. Okay. Any other announcements I should probably ask?
One other priority thing. Rachel, did you get your abstract in for CEDAR?
Not yet. That's next after Grape deployment.
Excellent. Because they're due tomorrow.
I know.
Okay, good. As long as you know.
No pressure.
And I know Kung sent me an abstract. I plan on reading it. I did start reading it. I'm going to send you an edit today, I think.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any hardware updates?
We're getting a little closer to understanding some of the idiosyncrasies. Bill had noticed something, and I had noticed before as well, that if you boot the Grape 2 system with anything other than, actually, if you had the keyboard plugged into the USB 3 drive when you boot it, it sometimes causes it to ignore the hard drive.
Right.
And we're trying to see if not plugging the keyboard in when you boot it and then plug it in later if you're going to use it helps. But I think I've tried that. It's a higher probability it's going to boot. I guess the biggest issue we're having is on boot, the hard drive gets ignored. It's an easy one to fix. You just unplug it, wait a couple seconds, plug it back in, and it usually finds it. But it's strange. I have not been able to figure it out. My gut feeling is it has something to do with the fact that you can declare the USB 3 port as an on-the-go port. And I have disabled that because I do want it to operate it as USB port and not an on-the-go port. But there might be something in the software setup in the operating system that's still flaky. But once it boots, it's fine. I've been running the hard drive, the 4 terabyte hard drive with the new controller now for 22 days straight with no problems. So I think we've taken care of the drive disappearing. So I'm excited about that. That means we should be getting solid data. As I mentioned before, we shipped 29 of the 31 units, or 29 of 31 units are deployed. 2 more have to go yet. based on a decision that Nathaniel needs to make. No pressure.
No pressure.
We're still cleaning up loose ends. The plotting stuff I'm working with Kung on now. He's got the amplitude plots working perfectly. He's reading in the data correctly for the Doppler shift, but it's plotting as minus, depending on which band you're on, it's like minus 1750 hertz instead of like 1 hertz. So we've got an index problem or a number problem or something strange. So should be easy to find, but Kung's working on that. We're also starting the creation of a magnetometer plot, which we're going to be plotting between 40 and 60 microteslas, which should cover most of the United States, if not all of it. Actually, I think it was up, Iman told me it goes up to 65 microtesla up in northern Canada, up near the pole, but I don't think we're going to have any stations up there, so 40 to 60 should be fine. I didn't want to plot it from 0 to 100 because it's just going to look like a little straight line. And we're plotting the magnitude of the vector. So that's in process. That's looking good. Looks like I messed up one of the cron tab jobs, but we should have a mechanism to fix that. And Bill and I will be working on that. Using Python 3 to call a script is a dumb idea.
Just a bash script, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why did I do that? But anyway, I've been doing a lot of stupid
Easy to
mistakes.
fix.
It's an easy fix, but unfortunately, I didn't catch it before I made all the copies, so we'll have to fix it remotely with our secret weapon. Let's see. Other than that, I think that's everything with hardware. I'm going to turn it over to Bill. He's more the mastermind now of this stuff.
No, I'm just testing the release candidate 1 and sending reports to John and Kung as I find them. Yeah, I confirmed the glitch with the USB port, USB 3. If you plug in the keyboard wireless dongle, it won't boot. So what I've done is just use a USB hub off the upper USB 2 port, and that seems to work reliably. If you need a head, if you run headless, you don't need it, obviously. So.
Oh, also with that, I have ordered the dummy HDMI and the micro HDMI to HDMI converter to plug into the Grape micro HDMI ports. If you're running headless, when you VNC into it, it wakes up at 1920 by 1080 instead of 320 by 480, which is kind of hard to use. Even though I set it in 3 different places in the operating system setup, including in config.txt saying that the default resolution should be 1920 by 1080, and I told the setup that it should wake up as 1920 by 1080, and I saved the settings as 1920 by 1080 in the operating system, but it's kind of random whether it wakes up as 1920 by 1080 or the smallest resolution they can figure out, which is 320 by 480. So,
yeah, and I believe you discovered this too, but to get around it, if you plug in a 1920 by 1080 monitor when you first boot,
right.
The system will set itself correctly so that later, when you VNC in, it's the correct resolution. And I don't know what's happening there, but that's one workaround if you don't have that HDMI mini port, mini dongle, whatever you call it.
Yeah, I've ordered enough for everybody, but they weren't in here in time. I think I got 10 of the 31 systems have that with it. The other ones are going to have to ship separately. And I will probably wait for requests because sometimes once it boots and you're in, it's fine.
Yeah, so if you're saying that if you boot it with the monitor, you can then disconnect it?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Right.
going to be
Right.
our recommended procedure. I think David McGraw, I'm looking at my stuff here. Where are you?
I got it shipped, I saw.
And you got a magnetometer coming too. You're one of the 5.
Okay.
And Philip Gladstone,
Now, do we have to add the module for that, or does it have the?
Oh, it's the full board and
Mag.
module. You have to just add the pipe, the Cat 5 cable, and the digging.
Right. Okay. I gotta go get some pipe.
Yeah, it's 1.5 inch PVC Schedule 40. You need
Yeah,
like a
that's still
4-foot
online, right?
I believe so.
Yes, you can go to the Hamsci website, search on magnetometer, and all those instructions will come up in the results.
And it's really touchy to get the y-axis to 0. I mean, you move it less than a degree and you can jump it from count of 2 to a count of 0. It's really sensitive. So yeah.
Well, you shouldn't need to line it up exactly.
Well, that was the CAL procedure that was outlined by Jules.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's going to keep changing.
Sure, it's going to keep changing, but we're trying to give it a reference point for one of the axes.
Right.
So.
We just had a talk about how quickly the magnetic pole is moving.
Yeah, it's kind of scary how fast it's moving. Anyway, Bill, do you have anything else?
No.
John, you had a comment about Philip's package N1DQ. He's on the line.
Okay, Philip. I do have you included as a magnetometer, but when those were shipped on Tuesday, I didn't have them here, so we will shipping you that separately. And I'll probably also include. Actually, I don't have that. I'll include I have the fake HDMI plug, but I don't have the converter thing yet. They're backwards. But your magnetometer will be shipped separately.
Okay, thank you.
This is Jerry Ryan.
Go ahead.
I was going to request a magnetometer. I see, is it too late to get one? Because I think I can, I can put one in a place where it should be accurate recording.
It is not too late. I had just actually I made 6 more last night and tested them out and actually fixed one of them because one of the chips got pulled off by the tape, and I found that on the tape. It's like, uh-oh. So yes, please send something to one of us and we will get that shipped to you.
All right, I will, John.
Not a problem. Glad to have magnetometers in the field.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Ron Wilcox, first time in the meeting, but the the HDMI adapter cables. So if it doesn't come in our package, then should we try to get one of those? I can get it from Amazon, same day delivery here in the afternoon. So I'm assuming wait, see if it comes in the package, but it sounds like it's something I'm going to need.
It is something you're going to need, yeah.
All right, so if it's not in my package, rather than waiting for you to try to get one to me, would it be, they're not that much, I just go ahead and get one ordered and get it on the way?
Yes, it's micro HDMI to HDMI, because the monitor will take HDMI, but the Raspberry Pi 4 takes micro, not mini, but micro.
Right. They're only $7, same day delivery from Amazon, and it says it's for the Raspberry Pi. So
yeah, we do not include that in the package. So yes, you'll need to get that.
In fact, the Pi 4 kits come with 2 of them.
And for anybody who's interested, that is magnetometer in all its glory. Not much to it. And this one is going to Philip. It's got his name on it.
are you trying to get those in more locations on the magnetometers? I mean, it's probably something I could put in my yard. I don't know if you need one in Utah or not.
Actually, the more the better. The thing is, they are sensitive to anything magnetic, so it really wants to be away from stuff. Like they're recommending, I think it was 75 feet away from the house. Even walking by it with like a wheelbarrow, you can pick it up because it's sensitive down to a nanotesla. And we're now your normal vector for the Earth's magnetic field is like 50 microteslas. So it's a factor of 10,000 more sensitive. So it'll pick you up. Especially
Alright.
if you want it. But if you want to put one in, yeah, we'll send one to you.
Yeah, well, I've got a fence and the swing set for the grandkids, and everything else is just roses and trees. So your discretion. If you think it would add value, go for it. And if not, I'll see what else I can do to contribute. So
It depends on where, if you could put it someplace that off in the corner of the yard or something, especially if it's a wooden fence, something like that would probably be acceptable. I don't know. I'm not a
Okay.
magnetometer expert.
yep, sounds good.
Ron, you might just, as I suggested to others, go to the ham site, hit search and search on magnetometer, because the installation instructions and the construction of the housing for it is not difficult, but it's more than just taking a PC board and setting it out in the woods. So there's
Yeah.
a little more to it.
You have to get up.
And just so people understand, the main reason that you do the burying is because you're trying to stabilize it temperature wise. The magnetometer is also an excellent thermometer. So if you have any changes in temperature, you will see it in your magnetometer readings. So by trying to get it buried down into the earth, you're trying to get it into a stable temperature environment.
And the 3 feet came from, I think it was the frost line that was up around where Jules was. I know in Cleveland, the frost line used to be at 3 feet in the winter, but since the climate change, it's probably less than 18 inches now.
Used to be said to be 6 feet here, but I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
You guys get cold for a long time.
We used to,
Yeah.
but then we also have a problem of bedrock.
Oh, you have to get some explosives and
Permafrost is constant temperature.
Okay, Kung, do you have anything?
Oh, hi. Yeah, a few little things. Yeah, I did get your email about that double shift error. It's probably, I think it's likely because I'm mapping the beacon into beacon frequency wrong. That's probably
Yeah,
the reason
it's
why.
going to be
But
something silly, but
mm,
since you were scanning the whole file and the max and mins were showing up correctly, it's just something silly. So once you see it,
yeah,
it'll be, oh, and then it'll be fixed. So I'm not worried about it.
yeah. Hopefully, I get that resolved soon. And the other thing I'm working on is the errors and warnings that are supposed to appear on the console. Yeah, so
Oh.
my data controller is constantly sending over statuses of the system. So I'm supposed to display that. So let's say, like, in case there's like a writing error, I'm supposed to display that error message along with the corresponding color for the corresponding severity of that issue.
Thank you, Con.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, our game plan on that is if the disk drive goes offline, we're going to put it in your face, like probably delete the screen and have big red letters, disk drive offline, so you catch it. It's not something you'll be able to miss because it shuts the entire thing down. Like I say, we've gotten around it, but I have noticed that just touching the USB 3 connector, so its motion is up or down. There are contacts on the inside edge. Since USB 3 has a second set of contacts in it, other than the 4 that you normally see. When those temporarily disconnect, the drive disconnects and goes offline and does not come back unless you do some things which I've detailed in my set of instructions. But worst case, you have to reboot the system. It's pretty serious. So just be very careful about not touching the USB 3 cable into the Pi when it's running. That's usually the kiss of death for knocking it offline. And I've done it so many times, I'm embarrassed to say, but it doesn't take much. And I've also seen just plugging in the keyboard and not touching the connector will knock it offline. So yeah, there's some sensitivities here on the USB 3 connection into the Pi that we don't fully understand yet. But as I said in my notes, even if you look at it funny, sometimes it'll jump offline. So okay, Kung, anything else?
Anything else from me? Back to the net.
Okay.
One quick question. I was
Yes.
just reading the magnetometer install instructions, and the magic Ethernet connector that goes in the pipe is not actually available anymore.
Oh, okay. So
can somebody update the instructions with a part number that works?
That would be a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, it's a watertight RJ45 to RJ45 in a circular connection is what you're after. But yeah, we'll have to update that. I think that's all I got, Rachel. Back to you.
Okay. Really, most of what I had on hand was just saying, hey, the grapes are deployed. I did want to point out that W80D is such a friendly place that I just walked upstairs to the shack and was like, would anyone like me to package grapes? And one of the freshmen volunteered without even knowing what a grape was. They legitimately thought like, yeah, we're gonna just go package some fruit. And so that was Eddie and they helped me do a nice large cluster on Tuesday night for the grape deployment. So I wanted to point that out. But other than that, grapes mostly deployed, and most of what this meeting can be spent on is probably troubleshooting. So if you're a grape host and you have questions, now would be the time.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gotten theirs yet because the Tuesday ones should be arriving today, I think.
No, yeah. I was really hoping that FedEx would be like somehow really early in the morning and we'd be watching on videos.
No,
but
that'll be next week.
If you guys could take a few pictures maybe of your setups and everything, you can share them in next week's minutes. Fingers crossed.
So that actually does raise a thing. No, my one is due to arrive about lunchtime. Who is if for any issues, who is the best person to talk to?
Probably me. So I put there's an instruction document in there that says like if anything's broken, changed, moved, or whatever. And I will talk, poke John about it directly, but I might be a little bit more
Yeah, we'll channel them through Rachel. She'll get the easy ones. Yeah. The hard ones I'll take care of. So hopefully there won't be any big issues, but like I say, on any rollout, there's always going to be something I missed. So
one thing about the shipping is apparently it's going to need a signature.
No, we shut that off.
Well, it says direct signature required on the notice I got.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be home.
Hey, is it coming UPS or FedEx?
FedEx.
Usually with those, there's a place on there where if you've got whatever it's called membership or whatever, you can sign in and go in and negate that and say that I take responsibility and that doesn't have to be signed.
They keep going back and forth on that, and I don't know where it stands right now.
Yeah, I just thought I know that sometimes when I get stuff in that it'll say that, I'll just go in and mark and say that nope, I'm not worried about it, and then they'll stop it.
Part of that,
I'll see what I can do with it.
Yeah, part of that's driven by the value of the box, and we valued them at $300. So
I valued them at more than that.
Okay.
But I also did ask for no signed deliveries, so I think that's just a thing on the delivery end.
Okay.
Marked in the system to just leave them.
Hey, John, this is Dave in Colorado.
Yes.
What is the expected load of files coming my way?
Right now, 0, because I have it shut off. We need to talk about that. We were going to compress them into one file because we were having problems with the multiple transfers. I haven't been able to get that to work consistently yet. It seems to be skipping files because there were 6 being uploaded and it would maybe get 2 of them. So there's something in the script that's screwy or timing or something's goofy with that. But right now we're trying to compress it in all into one zip file for the node. And it should be about the same size or smaller than what you're getting now. So
What do you mean? Smaller?
size-wise.
Smaller than the CSV and the
PNG,
image?
yeah, the plot, the size of those 2 files, you're getting them uncompressed. We're going to take all 6 of these and compress them. So
Wow, there'll be that much savings. Okay, very good.
it should save on space. I don't know how much yet. We haven't really been able to benchmark it yet because I haven't had plot files to play with yet. But I will be in touch with you about that before I turn that on. So I shut it off last night on all nodes. So.
Okay, and then so everybody's going to be saving their data to their hard drives. That's it.
Right now, it's all normally saved to the hard drives, and then we'll turn on the uploads.
And are you thinking that's a week from now, or is this going to be before the eclipse? You're going to turn the uploads on?
I hope so.
Okay, well, please let me know when you're doing it, and I'll just keep tabs on, watching our file server.
Yep.
So
okay.
All right.
Just a reminder, the raw data is going to stay on the hard drive and not be uploaded.
Correct.
At this stage.
Because those are 10.5 gig files per day. And that would probably not do too well on the FTP server. You'd probably crash it after the first file.
Just warn me.
Yeah. No, we're not doing the raw data files. That's too much bandwidth and too much size and not enough time. We'll have to figure that out later. Although the raw data,
Go ahead, John.
the raw data for the Eclipse, we are definitely going to be saving because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So probably like the month of April, once everything gets up and running, is probably what we'll be after, but we're going to figure that out down the road. Right now, it's get everybody online, get them working. And I still have to update the document yet on doing the RF jumper gain setting. I shipped them all with a gain of 2.5, and the options are 1, 2.5, 4, and 10. And except for the 2 that we shipped to Colorado, Dave Schwartz is set to a gain of 1 because I know he doesn't need an antenna. Other than that, I think back to net, Rachel.
I've got one comment on the deployment, if I could.
Sure.
I overcommitted our number of grapes, so we've got one person that I was hoping to get a grape to. Was very graciously accepted my apology. Mike AAK is on the call today, so if for some reason another grape comes falling down from the sky, or somebody wins the lottery, decides to move to Switzerland and refuses delivery or something, we've definitely got a home for a grape 2 in Michigan if one shows up. So just please keep
Yes.
that in mind.
I would like to, because yesterday we just needed 2 more addresses and our FedEx here closes really early. So I would like to be part of whatever I think you, Gary, and I should probably be part of whatever offline talk John and Frizzell are going to have about.
Yes. Yeah, the 4 of us should probably stick afterwards and
Like what
it'll take 2 minutes to figure it out. But the question is simple, but
Would it be possible to maybe end this meeting or have us duck out a little early to have that discussion? Because as much as I try to keep my Thursday clear, it inevitably gets.
No, I was figuring right after this meeting. So
yeah,
I have another meeting right after this meeting. So if we could just maybe like we can either do a breakout room or at like 10:50, we can pull aside and do that.
Okay.
Vista backlog. Any other questions? Because I think that's really, I know you guys haven't received any grapes yet, but if you have any questions on it, there is a instruction document that we put together that we're shipping a version of in your boxes. But if you guys want to read this and see if you have any questions on it, there is also a list in here on like everything that's included in the box and everything that's probably not included in the box. So anything that you'll need, like an Ethernet cable or a monitor and mouse and keyboard, that there's a list in there for that. So that may be helpful to you.
You should probably include in the instructions now that Bill Blackwell has confirmed that putting a USB hub on the USB 2 side and then putting the Leo Bodnar and your keyboard on that hub works. That's probably going to be preferential than plugging your USB 3 keyboard connection, because that tends to drop that drive offline. So
if I'm understanding you correctly, if I needed, if I were going to place an Amazon order like right now, I should get a micro HDMI cable and a USB 2 hub to be ready for this thing.
If you're going to leave the monitor on there permanently and the keyboard on there permanently, yes.
Okay.
If you're not, we need it to set the system up, but once we're done with that, you can VNC into it.
Okay. I have a KVM switch and a I have a KVM switch situation.
Oh, okay.
Those
But,
work.
Do you give instructions for VNCing in?
The client or the server, no, what is it, Bill?
The server is
The server
enabled.
is enabled and it works. So you just have to have it on your host computer to.
It's just like FLDigi Grape 1, just VNC in. Same way, it works exactly the same.
Do you have instructions for doing that?
No.
I'm a neophyte at this.
Basically, you download I think it's called a viewer. If you just search on VNC viewer, download that. It's free.
John, do you think you could throw that in the instructions document?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's just the real VNC viewer that was recommended for Grape 1.
Right.
And you could just.
Do you have to do anything special with ports?
Nope. This is assuming you're on the same local network. If you're going
Okay,
in,
what if I'm coming from outside? I have to.
then I have no clue how to do that. You have to get through
Okay.
their firewall somehow.
Yeah, okay. So I have to work with the
IT people. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
They may or may not allow that too, so be aware of that.
Well, this is Mike, WA9TKK. When I've used that in the past in my job, you need a static IP to log into something like that.
Which is another IT problem, trying to get an IP address.
Which
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. And for that problem, ARDC is coming up with a solution. So they are starting to roll out these routers that are connected to the ARDC VPN using their 88 net. So in the near future, you're going to be able to go to ARDC and order a little box that you can plug in between your router, between your Grape and the outside internet, and it will give you a fully routable static IP address that's just used for ham radio and research purposes.
Oh, cool.
So
wow.
yeah, that actually is a really useful thing for our project.
Yeah.
So
Do you know,
awesome.
do you know when
nice.
Nathaniel, do you know when it's going to be available?
I think they're doing beta testing now. I talked to John Hayes at the HamSci workshop, and he said they are rolling out a beta testing program. So if you are interested, I would contact John Hayes directly at ARDC, and you can ask him about it. And I think my guess, I can't speak for him, but my guess is that he would be very happy to have people from our community who are doing personal space weather station things be beta testers for this.
Can you send a
Thank you.
email link for that, Nathaniel?
Sure, I will put that.
I mean,
yes, I'll work on getting that in the
Put it in the minutes if you can.
yeah. So I know that you can do a contact. See, contact at ardc.net is one, and then John Hayes, I think he's their like public person. I'm on their if you go to ardc.net, which is what I'm doing right now, you can go to about, and I think you can click who we are. And there's a nice picture of John Hayes, the outreach manager there. Let's see, his email is not there. Let me see if I have that. He's K7, his call is K7VE. Trying to find his email. I think it's just K7VE at ardc.net, but I'm
Yeah, if there is a way to be able to do this easily, like you're saying, then, you know, you guys that are managing the network could VNC to everybody's computers.
That was the original intention, but I didn't have time to implement it before I shipped the stuff out.
yeah, I'm still trying to find.
I needed another 6 months to get all these bugs worked out.
I found John Hayes's address.
Oh, great. Yeah. So did I. Just got it. Did you
Okay.
get john.hayes at ardc.net?
Yep.
Yeah. John.hayes at ardc.net. That's the same one I found. So yeah. So if you're interested in being a beta tester for that program, I think he's the person to contact.
What is it referred to as again as?
You can ask for their VPN router, their 88net VPN router.
It was APA net?
88, the number 88.
Oh, 88.
Because their block of IP addresses starts with 88.
Oh, okay.
Like the, no, not 88.
Oh,
80. 88. You know, like hugs and kisses.
Oh,
Yeah.
88's okay. 88 net. Got it.
Wait.
Smooch net.
Oh.
A little bit of ham radio love, right?
That's right.
Mhm.
So as we're talking about documentation, I really cleaned up the Grape 2 page on HamSci, and when we've got some documentation, I'll start putting it there. And then, of course, I'll send a message out to everybody and we'll have a common link for it.
If I could, let me confirm just one more time my understanding. I've got a magnetometer running now. All I would need to do to switch over to the magnetometer in the Grape 2 is to unplug the cable going to the outside unit, plug it into the Grape 2, right?
That is incorrect. The old magnetometers are incompatible with the new system. The two temp sensors clobber each other, and you can't separate them on the board unless you do a cut and add. So for any new magnetometers, we are including the board.
Okay, so I just want to continue using the existing magnetometer.
No, the existing magnetometer outside is incompatible with the new system.
No, I say,
Wait.
I just won't plug into the magnetometer on the Grape 2.
He'll keep running the existing system he's got, the old tapper system. That's
The old
running
tapper
fine. It'll
system,
keep
right.
running.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they
keep it
put it at
running.
address 23 and the internal temp sensor was over the top of the one that was, yeah, it doesn't work.
Okay, so if I keep using this one, I
You
have
can
the
keep
same
using
effect.
that one, or if you get one with the new Grape, it will have the correct addressing and they'll work fine together.
Okay.
So unless you want to run two magnetometers, I take it you're already running one now.
Yeah, I'm running one now. Just gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, just keep doing that.
Okay.
A small correction. The ARDC's net is 44, not 88.
I was wondering about that. They gave me this.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
So it's only half of the love.
It's only half a kiss, yeah.
Sorry about that. Thank
Just
you,
a
Bill.
kiss. Not a hug and a kiss.
I appreciate it. I don't know why I thought 88 net, but yeah, 44 net. Thank you very much.
yeah, it's a tribute to how brain dead I am, though, that I have like literally the sticker they were handing out at HamSci that says like 44 net on it. I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, 88 must type.
Yeah, they've got web pages set up for the project, so it's in the chat.
Okay. Any other questions? You can absolutely go through the instruction document. If anything isn't clear, you can either comment directly on it or you can ask questions now or email them. Okay.
I got one. It's not particularly grape related, but like everyone else on the planet, I'm wondering if I could get some of Nathaniel's time.
Good luck with that.
Right? I have a meeting.
When would you like it?
Pretty much any time today, if you have a little slot, because I've got a meeting with Zorman tomorrow to talk about Daisy things. So I'd like to check in about that.
Oh, yes, I definitely want to talk about that too. Would 1:15 today be good?
Totally.
Wonderful.
Can you send a Zoom invite?
Yes.
Thank you. I will see you at 1:15.
Wonderful. Actually, can we do 1:30? Then it might give me time to go get a sandwich.
1:30 it is.
1:30. Wonderful. I will put you on my agenda.
All right, 7-3s.
Christina,
7:30.
is the Daisy grant conversation, is that just you and Zorman, or is it a bit of an open meeting?
I think this round might be me and Zorman, but is there something you want me to carry forward, or do you want to be
No,
in on? Because
I'd be on the loop on this. I'd like to be
for sure. We're going to be discussing kind of the like the timeline for getting everything submitted. So what I would need to know, I think, for this meeting is kind of the list of things that we plan to do, the list of whom we plan to do them with, and which organizations things are getting submitted through. Basically, I want to figure out if there's a way for me to use this to leverage a research appointment at Case so that I'm not in this weird limbo on my end. And also I want to sort of get clarity about what we want to put into this grant, but it's due like May 15th. So it's kind of chop.
Yes. But I think that's important.
That's why I'm like, I want to meet with Zorman as soon as possible to get like my end of things ironed out. So yeah. So if you have anything in there, Rachel, then definitely send it to me. And Nathaniel, I'll see you at 1:30, but expect this to be like a whole lot of conversation in the coming month.
Okay. I have a thought about that. So
excellent.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
All right, bye for now.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any other questions on the Grape 2? And or any action items that you're like, this needs to be done within the next week? What should we take away from this meeting, kind of things?
I think we need to make an offering to the good spirits to get it all done.
I will sacrifice a freshman. I'll get right on that. I'm kidding.
Ouch.
I'm kidding.
Not in my lab.
Yes,
I have to clean it up.
I will not. It was a joke. Just the goat then. I'm kidding.
No, that was serious.
I've been working on Starcat. Let's see.
Maybe 2 goats to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I think we'll need at least probably 3 for this project.
Thing, eat it, be an electronics thing that we sacrifice. Should we release some of the magic blue smoke?
Yeah.
Whipping magic smoke.
Is now a good time, John?
Yes.
Rachel. Okay, great.
Right.
We can, and could Christina join us too?
If she wants to.
And Gary.
Yeah.
And Gary.
And Gary. All right.
Just one more
So
call
why
there
don't we...
for
Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to stop recording and I'm just going to start creating a breakout room, and those people can meet me in the breakout room. Everyone else can stay online. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Great.